It's my honor to share my journey to all of you. I'm actually an engineer. I graduated as a civil engineer in the United States of America. So same as Jin Long, he's also an engineer, but he's swing his path to another way, which is actually working in a live wave. So I'm a bit different. I'm an engineer and in geotechnical. So of course, being an engineer, if you are talking about engineer, you have to move around, you have to go to the office, you have to go to the project site. Uh, you just cannot stay in the office for all the time. So the mobility is actually one of the most concerned things that you want to move yourself all over the places. So if you find that when your legs are being swollen because of our gout attack, or if you are being attacked by the sharpness of pain, I think you can just give up on all your careers and just forget everything about it and just say, I just want to quit. So that's all pains I can tell you, because really, I mean, being an uric acid, I mean, if you are actually diagnosed with uric acid, I think the first thing that the gout attack is normally your ankle. And unless you say you don't want to walk, there is no way. Every day you have to walk. So when it's attacked onto your ankles, that means every step you're going to move since you step down from your bed until you finish the last step, going back to the bed, you have to suffer to the extent. So anyway, maybe I just share a bit on the slide, the first slide. As mentioned here, if you look at it, today is 2024. And actually, I suffered the first gout attack in 2000, year of 2000. So you can imagine the amount of years that I have to go through, bearing with all these kind of pains that you're going to move around. But of course, whenever there's a gout attack, things that you can do is, take medicines, or to some extent, if it's really pain and you have to go for the jab and all these things. So, I mean, these are what we call the modern medicines solutions that we have to go through in order to get rid of the pain. So, and the root cause, if you look at it, uric acid, you cannot run away due to the high purine food, which is like seafoods or peanuts or beers or anything that's with a high protein. We are looking at the tendency of getting build up of your uric acid. And if you're able to discharge this excess of purine, then your body will be just fine, just like normal people. As for me, I think this amount of purine is actually accumulated, and when it's accumulated and it's unable to discharge out of my body, you see that my uric acid level is actually went up to 6.5 milligram per decimal liter. So if you compare to the normal people, it should be about 3.5. And that's the reason why that, regardless whether I try to control my diet of food, or I try to eat, I would say minimum of all those kind of high purine food, it still lead me to gout attack. So there's something that when we look at it, if you say that die you want to eat, you have to eat sometimes. But when I have not been eaten that kind of food for a long time, yet, these things happen on me. So when this thing happened to me, just like the bottom part, the prescription using allopurinol, I tried before, and this kind of colchicine, and this also the corticosteroid, all these kind of medicines I have tried before. Basically, the bottom two is just to get rid of the pain and the swollen part when during the gout attack. But allopurinol, I have actually tried with so many different kind of dosage, and it don't seem like reduce my uric acid at all. And the level is always maintained at 6 point something, and once in a blue moon, you will just get a gout attack just like that. So it's not fun, and it's something that, when you have gout attack and you want to do something, you just can't do anything at all. So if you look at the photo that is on the left-hand side, you can look at the fingers of mine, and it's actually getting what we call this kind of gouty arthritis, where all the joints start to swollen. So that is something that actually trigger me. What I say is it's actually alarm me that, if I continue with this kind of high uric acid levels, later on my finger will be actually jammed up. I couldn't even bend my finger at all. So that is actually something that is very worrying. And I've actually, before that, I've actually tried to look for a lot of this kind of solutions. The solutions means that apart from what I say is the water and all those things I've been trying, if you can know that maybe they will say pandan leaf, or those kind of green papaya water and all those things, or any kind of ingredients you can say of. I've been trying, and it doesn't help at all. And to the certain extent that I was thinking that, if I try to go jogging and try to burn as much as my calories, I even joined a few marathons, and doesn't help at all. The level doesn't come down, it doesn't come down. I'm thinking that, if you go and, work out, exercise, this marathon, we are looking at about what? For me, I'm not that fast. So I'm talking about 5 to 6 hours. Even with the 5 to 6 hour continuously burning your fat and all those things, that amount of protein doesn't come down. And the next thing it lead me to is dehydration, because I sweat a lot. Actually dehydrate and have to drink a lot of water. And for uric acid patient, if you don't drink a lot of water, the next thing you get is gout attack again. You see, it doesn't really help me at all. So all these things I've been trying, 5 ways, this and that, and previously my finger is still all right, but until I would say that in about 10 years ago, and it started to accumulate all these kind of crystal along my joints. So that is something that, I've been trying this. If you can imagine, from 2000 until today, we are talking about 24 years. And 10 years before, I tried to search for solutions and find any kind of ways of doing it, try to see whether is it possible to actually reduce my uric acid level. It doesn't, I couldn't manage to find. I would say that I couldn't manage to find. Okay, there is something in the world, it's just that I couldn't manage to find. So that is why, and when it comes, I still remember it's actually beginning of this year, before Chinese New Year. I think one of my friends, Serene, is actually introduced me to these life weight patches. I want to imagine that day. But actually, that day when I was waking up, and I got so difficult to move, so difficult to move. I have to walk half pace, half pace. Every pace is actually half of the normal pace, and to come down from upstairs, I don't know how long I use it. I just cannot move at all. And end up my mom have to actually drive me to hospital, and I have to actually sit on a wheelchair and actually go into the hospital, and didn't know what the hell was actually happened. And that is the worst part. That is the worst part. So you can imagine that wake up, the whole body was so pain, and the leg is so pain, and even my arms, I can't even really move too much. And I have to come down, and after that, my mom have to drive me to hospital, thinking that what was actually happened, and sitting in the wheelchair and actually move me into the hospital. And after the doctor check, finally they said, your uric acid level is very high. That's why you're getting a gout attack. To that kind of extent. For the MCO, I think it should be around 2020. Right. Yeah, that's 4 years ago. And that is the second round of time where when I get back to Alopurina again, the hospital. The doctor said that, you should take on 50 milligram, 100 milligram, that sort of things. So I said, okay, to the extent that the doctor was saying that, this kind of medicine you can get outside, you don't need to come to anymore.
So you see, just now Mr. Sin said that he was on steroids. Now, just look at what steroids do to our body. All right, it basically does a lot of damage. Yeah, if people are not aware of this, I can tell you that a lot of people out there, when they try to seek for medical advice, and all these are not basically being advised. Okay, so as a practicing pharmacist, my duty was to basically advise doctors on the side effects of drugs. Yeah, that is my primary duty. And can you see this? What can really happen when we take steroids long term? Yeah, it will basically bring down your immune system. You fall sick easily. Your skin issue like psoriasis, eczema will start to flare up. Your fluid electrolyte imbalance, that means your kidney, okay? Your sex hormone may change also. So your stress response increases, okay? Your protein fat metabolism will be altered. So people put on a lot of weight, water retention and weight. So the nervous system, it will actually cause a lot of damage to it as well, okay? And basically, this is what happens, okay? One little pill can cause such damage to our system. It's crazy. Mood swings, decreased libido, anxiety, depression, seizure, infections, wound phase, osteoporosis, yeah, in women especially, if you have a condition and you're being put on steroid long term, yeah, so it's very, very damaging. Okay, so hypertension, insulin resistance, all this starts to flare up in your system. Okay, so this is something that a lot of people are not aware of. And Mr. Sin, did you have any of these symptoms while you were on steroids?
Well, the steroid that I'm taking is actually, during the gout attack, I took weight, and after that, I stopped it completely.
So you did not take it long term, huh?
No, 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 no,
Very
no.
good, very good, fantastic. Yeah. So
Something very worried. So that's
yeah,
why I don't take it at all. And
yeah,
unless I have any choice, then I will take it.
yeah, yeah. That's why it's very important for us to educate ourselves. So what we are doing here, we are building this wellness community, right, to help people to find solutions for what they're going through right now. And it's very frustrating if you actually visit doctors, specialists, and all they do is to put you on a pill, put you on creams, put you on injections, right? And you know that from Mr. Sin's story, and it works for a while only. Yeah,